Hello, this is Dr. Lee Hildebrand with my next video. And in this video, what I'd like to address is how to be a good friend. Now, you can use this video in one of two ways, or both ways. One of which is I'm going to offer 10 tips in helping you to be the best friend that you can with those that you care about or people that you'd like to get to know. The flip side of that is, as I'm going through these tips, it can help you to think about, do the friends that you have in your life bring these qualities to bear in your relationship? So this can also give you perspective on how friends are treating you, as well as it gives you perspective on how you're treating them. So I'm hoping this is very helpful for people. You know, one of the greatest things that we have in life, in addition to our family, is friends. And when I start to think about what are the qualities of a good friend, the first thing that comes to mind, and this is pointer number one, is to listen. Good friends are those that will, when they ask a question, they will listen to the answer. They'll have an open posture. They won't be closed like this, or start talking to you and then start looking at their phone or being distracted and looking away. They're going to be present. They're going to attend to you. And vice versa. If you're going to be a good friend, you want to attend to those that you're talking to. You want to communicate to them with your eyes, with your body, etc., that you're interested in them, that you care about them, and you want to hear what they have to say. Number two, ask questions. If somebody is a good friend, they're going to ask questions. You're going to ask questions about others to find out more about who they are and what's important to them. Good friends will take the time and they will ask open-ended questions as well. Now, an open-ended question is a question that there's not a yes or no answer. This is a question that draws out other people and is going to help you as a friend get to know them more. It's also going to communicate to them that you care, that you're not self-centered, that it's not always about you, that you really do want to hear what's important to them. Number three, take initiative. To be a good friend with others, it's important to be an initiative taker. If you want to demonstrate to somebody else that you are a good friend, you will reach out to them from time to time. You will inquire, sometimes just out of the blue, not just when you want something or need something, as to how they are. Hey, I just wanted to check in with you. How are things going for you? Hey, I'd love to catch up. And in that process, letting them know that you care about how they're doing, that you want to find out more, and that you want to stay connected. And whether you're somebody that's a real extrovert or a little bit more introverted, anybody can make a note or just kind of try to keep in their mind to initiate with those that are friends, that they want to really demonstrate themselves to be a good friend too by taking initiative. Same thing goes with inviting them to events or creating situations where you and that friend can connect. These are signs of a good friend as well. Number four, have compassion when your friend makes a mistake. This is crucial in being a good friend. There are some people that take the approach that one strike and you're out in terms of being their friend. And unfortunately, all of us are not perfect. Sometimes we make mistakes. Sometimes we say things that we didn't think carefully enough about. And I'm not talking about egregious, all-out attacks and yelling or just really mean-spirited things. I'm talking about sometimes we'll make a mistake. Sometimes we'll have an oversight. And it's important, if you're going to be a good friend to others, that when others have this experience with you, that you offer them some grace, that you have some understanding, and that you can forgive them when they make a small mistake. Now, especially if you look at the overall friendship and the positives far outweigh any negatives, this is a good situation to exercise grace. Clearly, there are some situations where people can say things that are so egregious or mean-spirited or disrespectful that they may be cause for a dissolution of the friendship. But for you to be a good friend, it's important on especially the smaller things to be understanding with others. Number 5, do what your friends want to do sometimes. Don't have it always be about what you want to do. Look for opportunities to try new things, or to get involved in hobbies that your friends have, or if they invite you to do something that's a little bit out of your comfort level, that you take a shot and you try to do it. This is a really important hallmark of a good friend, that they show interest in their friends' interests as well. So, and it's not like you have to make it an equation in terms of, hey, we did this time that I really wanted to do, let's do that next time. It's just sort of a little bit of a give and take, that you're from time to time going to just show interest in or initiate something that you know that they would enjoy as well. Number 6, be generous. To be a good friend, it's important to share. It's important to be the type of friend that, you know, your friend has to like wrestle the check from you after a dinner, or you feel like there's just a fair consideration to one another in terms of these situations. That when you do an event where there is some splitting of funds, that you don't want them to feel like they have to chase you down, or that you're not going to be fair-minded, and just want to be generous with them in terms of that. And that includes just sharing your time. It could be sharing your heart in terms of really listening to them in a tough situation. And it can be generosity in terms of sharing things that you have, whether it be inviting them to your house, or sharing a dinner, or inviting them out for fun times together, or out on your boat, or just some situation like that. So be generous with your friends in order to be a good friend. Number 7, set boundaries. To be a good friend, it's important that you have a good sense of who you are and the abilities to set limits when you need to. Many people will appreciate this about you as a friend, versus a situation where you don't say anything, and then if you're passive and then you avoid and just kind of all of a sudden get frustrated and have a big reaction on something that you probably should or could have said something about sooner, that's just not fitting for you. Good friends set boundaries, and they try to communicate clearly about what their needs and expectations are in situations, in a cordial way, in a respectful way. Number 8, respect the boundaries of others. If you're wanting to be a good friend, you want to listen and give heed when one of your friends indicates a limit on something, or that they're just not able to do something that you'd really like to do, or that something you decide to do, maybe it's too expensive for them and they're just not going to be able to do that, or it doesn't quite fit with their values. It's important to listen to these and respect these boundaries in terms of your friend, and they will feel that you have their best interests in mind. Number 9, to be a good friend, introduce your friends to other friends. Be inclusive. Include them in situations with other mutual friends. Try to be careful not to be the person that's really exclusive, or that leaves certain friends out. Obviously, there's situations that there's smaller gatherings where you're not going to be able to have all of your friends there. But for instance, if you're with a friend and you run into another friend or an acquaintance or whatever the case is, be courteous and introduce them. Try to have them make a connection together as well. And don't be the type of friends that gets jealous or kind of possessive of certain friends, or envious when other friends that you have that like each other too do things sometimes and you're not involved because you're out of town, or it's just not your favorite thing, and they may know that, or it just happens to be a spontaneous thing that they decide to grab some coffee or do something of that nature. If you see something on social media, don't get envious. Just recognize, hey, they're having a good time. It does not mean that you're left out. You'll definitely be able to connect with them in the next situation. And take initiative. Go back to my number 3 point and just take initiative and get something set up when you can connect with both of them. So include Be inclusive in terms of your friends, and take care not to become envious of their connections when you're not around. Lastly, number 10, give your friends validation. When you see them doing something well, or if they wore something that day that just looks really cool, or if whatever the situation is, they get a new car, or just tell them about it. Give them a compliment. It's going to actually make you feel better too, and it's going to give them a boost, and people appreciate that. People want positivity from us in most cases as a friend. They want to know that what happens in their life is important too. There are some people that, narcissists most specifically, that are not going to compliment another person on something that's going on for them, etc., because they'll view it as a threat, and somehow it's going to make them less than if they say, hey, you're doing great, or you look good, or whatnot. In fact, it makes you more than, because you are a conduit of positivity. You're a conduit of love in your friend's life, that's giving them, genuine support and validation on things that they're doing well, or things that they might get that are cool, or experiences they may have that are cool. So celebrate those things with your friend in life. Now, I just did 10 tips in terms of how you can try to be a good friend. I'm going to add a bonus one here, and I think this encapsulates a lot, and that is, want the best interests for your friend, even if it doesn't directly benefit you. And in some cases, if you want their best interests, it may go against your specific needs. For example, if you have a friend that maybe is going to make a job change and you work in the same place, and oh my goodness, you're really going to miss them, but you recognize that this change could be much better for them, be supportive. Think about how much that's going to benefit them and offer your encouragement. Same thing if you have a friend that's going to be moving, or if there's some other aspect of their life that you know is going to be good for them and that may not be in your best interest, or it might limit your time that you get with them, or it might inconvenience you in some other way. Try to take the high road and really look at, hey, what's going to be the best for my friend? Because I want to demonstrate to them that I want their best in life in terms of their path and what their goals are and their journey is. So the most important thing, if you think about all of this, it does relate to wanting their best interests, and kind of the overall concept of love. Being a good friend is loving your friend. It's wanting their best. And love is an action. And that is, as a good friend, we take action steps that can benefit our friends, that can show appreciation to them, that can show encouragement to them, that can give them, gifts. And sometimes they may be financial gifts, material gifts, and sometimes gifts of time, gifts of ourselves. That is definite love, that we put ourselves out there for our friends so that they know that we're in their corner, that we value them, we do not take them for granted, and that we really are grateful that they're in our lives. So I really hope that these pointers have been helpful as you think about how you can continue to grow in being a good friend to others. This is a crucial aspect of life. In addition to our family, is to have what I call our chosen family, and that is those friends that we spend time with, that we share hobbies with, that we share our hearts and our lives with, to make those relationships vibrant and vital and just really a joy in terms of our lives. So I'm wishing you all well in terms of the friendships that you are involved in and you're pursuing. Please feel free to like this video and share it with anybody that you think could benefit from it. Thanks again, and hope you have a good one.